So in this module we're going to cover the on-page search engine optimization factors that you need to take into account when creating your first page. So if you've never done this before, you've never created a web page before, this will give you a step-by-step introduction of how to create your web page and do it so that it's search engine optimized. So we're going to learn how to construct your pages so that they're search engine friendly. In order to rank high in search engines, you essentially need to give them what they're looking for. And what that is relevant, unique, natural content. So while no one knows the exact algorithms that they use, and these algorithms also change all the time, there are some things which are considered beneficial for search engine optimization purposes. There's a link here, and I'll show you now, which goes through all the different Google ranking factors. So it's kind of a checklist that you can use when creating a page, and it gives you a different list of on-page factors which are good, factors which are bad, and then also positive and negative factors for off-page. So if we scroll down, click on some of the positive on-page ones, so that we can see hot things that have keyword in your URL, in your domain name, title tag, things like that, and you can take a look through this page yourself. I'll give you the link again in the resources so you can go through and get a feel for what Google actually wants. So this should be considered when you're creating your web page, and keep these things in mind. So essentially, search engines want to please the end user, and they do this by providing results which have relevant, unique, and high quality content. The whole goal of a search engine is to give the user what they want. So if they start giving results that aren't very useful to people, then the search engines are not going to be used by those people. So they have a real high priority on giving the user what they want. So our aim is to make search engines see our sites as more relevant than our competition. In that case, we can rank higher. So the first optimization step, which is quite an easy one, is register a keyword-rich domain name. So take your primary keyword, or one of your primary keywords that you've chosen, and see if you can register it as a .com domain. Google appears to give considerable weight to your keyword being in your domain name. This is not as true, I found, with Yahoo and MSN, but particularly with Google, if you have your keyword as your domain name, it gives you an instant boost in your rankings. So I use a site called namecheap.com to register all my domain names. And I'll show you this. Here's Namecheap. So all you do is go in and type in my primary keyword and then hit search, and then it will go through and tell you which ones are available or not available. So yeah, that one there, .com, is available. If the .com is not available, you can also consider .net, .org, possibly .info as well. Those are the only ones that I would really use, but if possible we use the .com one, simply because if you're trying to drive traffic to the site from offline where people don't have a link to physically click, people tend to use a .com extension by default. So even if you register a .net one and you're promoting offline, people will see your link, they'll remember the domain name, but many times they'll just by default enter in .com, which could go to your competitors. So try and get your primary keyword registered as a .com domain name if you can. So on to creating your first page. We need to go over some basic HTML, and you can get a free HTML editor from the site. There's nvu.com. This is their website here. So you just go to www.nvu.com, enter the site, and there's a link there for downloads, where you can download here. If you're using Windows, you can use that, or Macintosh, Linux, whichever operating system you're using. I've also included a basic template in the resources. This is to give you an idea, educational purposes, of what a basic HTML template that's optimized should look like. So if I open this up, this is just the editor here. In many ways it's very similar to Microsoft Word or Publisher. If you've used things like that, you have options to change fonts, bolding, italics, underlines, bullet points, etc. You can play around with it yourself and you can figure a lot out, and they'd also have video tutorials as well. So if you notice down here, there are 4 different tags. One is the normal. That's the one where you can go in and you can edit the page as you wish. They have a preview, which basically shows you what the web page looks like, or as it would look like when it's on a website. But this is an important one here. This is source. If you click on this one, this will open up the HTML source of the page. So it looks kind of confusing, but I'll go through each bit step by step with you. So from the top of the page, first thing we're going to look for is the title tags. Where you see these brackets here, these are just tags. That one, title, means it's the start of the title, and then the tag with a slash like that means it's the end of the title tag. I'll show you what I mean with the HTML source. So you can see here is the beginning of the title, and here is the end of the title. So in between that space you want to enter your keywords and use 1 or 2, even 3 of your keywords or variations of your keywords in there. So this must contain your keyword, and try and get some keyword variations in there as well. It's probably one of the most important on-page factors as far as search engines go. One thing to note is don't use unnecessary words like and, as, of, or those. What you can use instead is keep it short and use, I'm not sure the proper name, I call it the pipe key because it looks like a downward drain pipe. But it's usually, if you press the shift and the backslash key, you see it on your keyboard, and use this to separate the terms. So if I go back, you can see I've used this here to separate the terms. And what this looks like in the title of the web page, you can see keyword 1, separation, keyword variation, separation, another keyword variation. So this keeps everything relevant, no excess or any superfluous words. You want to keep it very, very focused around your keywords. So that's an example there. Begin and title tag, keyword 1, keyword 2, another keyword. Next are the meta tags. These are less important nowadays, but some search engines still consider them, and they can also be useful for showing the theme of a web page. So even though they're not directly going to get you good rankings, they can just help reinforce to the search engines that your page is relevant. So there are different ones. One here is keywords. I'll show you how this looks. So this box here, or this line of code here, that's a description one. This one here is keywords. So you'd have keyword 1, keyword 2, keyword 3, and you just put it in between the quotes where it says content. So what you want to do here is enter your keywords as a list. Do not stuff them full of hundreds and hundreds of keywords to spam them, because that's going to have a negative effect on you. All the keywords that you place in there should actually appear somewhere in the body of the content as well, so that they're considered relevant. So as an example again, you'd have your opening tags, then in between the quotes you'd have your list of keywords separated by commas, and then your closing tag, name equals keywords. Second one is the description. So you want to write a short, around 200 characters description about your site here. Google will often use this in the text in their results. So make it relevant and also enticing so you can get people to click on it. I'll show you what I mean by that now if I just open up Google and type in some text. So website traffic. So this is the title tag here, and this bit here would be the description. So you'd want to make that enticing for people to click on. And the way you would go about doing that is have, in between your content quotes, discover how to do something with this amazing something report. So make sure your keywords are in there as well. And on the actual page, again, you can see this one here. Enter a keyword-rich description of your site. So just in between those quotes, you'd enter a description of your site. Now, Google doesn't always use this description when displaying search results, but oftentimes it does. So if on the chance that it is going to use that, you want to make sure it's relevant.